This is Paul, and this is Mary, and today she's going to save his life. On this sunny morning, Paul comes to his friend's house for a coffee. They haven't seen each other for a long time and they're enjoying a pleasant moment and catching up on old times. All of a sudden, Paul feels unwell. Mary asks him some questions, but Paul can't answer normally. Then Mary remembers. She was spending the afternoon with her Uncle James and Aunt Alice. Suddenly, Aunt Alice dropped her glass. She didn't feel well. She wanted to lie down for a while. Back at the table, Aunt Alice was no better. She couldn't hold her knife in her left hand and her mouth was drooping on one side. Worried, James tried to call the family doctor, but he couldn't be reached. Finally, they decided to go to the nearest hospital emergency unit. The doctor on duty immediately suspected a stroke, but the hospital wasn't equipped. Alice had to be transferred to the referral stroke centre. In all, more than 3 hours were lost. Aunt Alice was never the same. Mary calls 112 and says she suspects a stroke. The paramedics arrive quickly. Paul is taken to the nearest stroke centre. There, everything is ready for him. The MRI scan confirms the diagnosis of a stroke. A cerebral artery is blocked. Paul undergoes an emergency thrombolysis and a thrombectomy. After 1 week in a neurovascular unit and 2 months of rehabilitation, Paul was able to resume an almost normal life and invite Mary to dinner to thank her warmly. Around the world, every 2 seconds, someone suffers from a stroke. It's the second leading cause of death and the first cause of disability in adults. There are medical treatments, but it's necessary to act rapidly because during a stroke, you lose 2 million neurons per second. We should all know how to recognise the 3 main signs of a stroke: a drooping mouth, weakness on one side of the body, in the arm, the leg, speech problems. But the general public is not well informed, and even for emergency professionals like paramedics, it's sometimes difficult to recognise a stroke.
This is why AI Stroke is developing a mobile app for first aiders, paramedics, and the general public. With a simple smartphone and our AI, you will be able to confirm a stroke in seconds, save precious time, and save lives. AI Stroke for quick and efficient detection.